Okay. Well, let's cover a bit of that. Okay. And then,
Sorry, the 28s, my new ones.
huh?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's your new ones?
Yeah.
Nice. Those are pretty good.
You like it?
They're pretty solid, yeah. Yeah, I like them good.
Yeah, the guy said the important thing is that they're dry.
They're dry? Okay.
Yeah, he's like, well, I think that's what he was saying is the good thing about them. It's like, you want them to not be hollow, actually. Maybe it's that you don't want them to be dry.
Yeah,
they split if they're dry.
If they're too dry, then they split faster. Yes,
Right.
that's what I was questionable about.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
where do these come from? Or the tropics. So
Right.
they're not meant for this weather.
Right.
So they do dry out eventually.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so usually that you can tell that the heavier they are, they've got a little moisture in it.
Right.
Which you want. And so that's actually a good technique, as a matter of fact. That brings up a good point.
Yeah.
I used to do it back in the day, but you can soak your sticks.
Uh-huh.
Because once again, they're built for Southeast
Right,
Asia.
right.
So you can put them in a bathtub
Uh-huh.
and let them sit there for about 4 hours. Now they're going to get heavy and they'll drip a bit, but it'll kind of increase the longevity of the sticks.
I used to leave them outside sometimes.
They didn't hit the
Just
rain?
from
Yeah.
not paying attention, like training out there and leaving them.
Yeah, I'm getting them water them. That's it. That's it.
Technique.
That's right. That's right. Plan this all along. Well, cool. So this is what I think we should do. Let's cover a bit of the 108.
Yeah.
And it's really fun with these guys up in New York because
Yeah.
they were, Master Tony is a master, certified master under Nene Tortal, who was Leo's uncle, who I met.
Right. Who I sent you a video of.
Yes.
That guy?
Yeah.
Okay. The older guy.
Yes, he's the guy when I was 14 complimented me my parents walked
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Your son is very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does karate? Yeah. Oh, no good. Don't do karate. Of course, you know, I'm 14, so I hear him complimenting him to my parents, and I'm like, y'all hear that? Yeah. That's right. And yeah, it was a good time. Amazing time. And ironically, it's funny, I was talking to Tony, and he said, dang, that was, because Tony was on tour with them.
Yeah.
He's like, that's the one I didn't go to.
Oh, that's fine.
So it was crazy, our paths went across 16 years ago, you know?
Small world.
Yeah, small world. So, but it's good being there because now, I mean, even though a lot of Nene stuff is integrated in what I do, it's good to see it by itself now.
Right.
And so for me, it's like jogging my memory on a lot of these things that I don't really work with anybody anymore. So I think we'll work on a bit of that because I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff is
Love
built for war, so you'll like it.
Yeah.
Simple, to the point, effective.
Like
All right. Let's go with the 108 first. Let's get that going, okay?
So the transition here is here
Uh-huh.
and then
Yes.
right here.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Thrust. Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3.
Right.
1, 2, 3, yep. Then you thrust left. And then make sure you go to the top.
Bam.
Yep. And I thrust left. Yep. And then head and earth. Good. Go. Okay. Good. Oh,
Sorry about that.
no, it's, start on your left shoulder.
Right.
So, yep. 1, 2, there. And high, low fluid. Relax. Go. Double X. Done there? Oh wait, I missed the strike. You're right. I'm sorry, I messed you up on that.
No,
I missed the
I'm
strike.
just following you. It's all good.
Go back, let's do double X again.
Uh-huh.
So it should be right, X, 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 then left. That was my fault.
Yeah.
Then we're done. Because what that does is it
Right.
sets us back up in
Yep.
side shape.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Up.
All right.
So you want this to be under here, yeah? Oh. Up. Good. Up.
Does this come?
Go under your other stick, yeah?
Come under.
Mhm. Then you do Bletes, Flaretes. We do Flaretes. And double strikes for balance, or double strikes. Then single strike for balance. Good. Break it out. Oop. So go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, to the ring. Good. Nice. And then broadsword. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Cool.
Yep.
Feels better?
Yeah,
It
feels
looks
good.
better. It looks better on you.
Yeah, I mean, it all feels good. It's all there. I just gotta remember the sequence
The sequence, yeah.
and the transitions. Yeah.
Yep. If you want to, I can text you the order. If you want to like write it down.
Yeah. You know, I just gotta practice more.
Yeah.
You gotta get it under. Yeah.
Yep.
One of the things that I did want to talk to you about is developing a training practice. So like right now I'm working on different things, you know, I'm kind of working on these.
Yeah, broadsword,
And then there's like little details, like I remember seeing you do it, and I feel like there's some detail like here, like when I'm coming back and I'm about to start it again, that maybe I'm not remembering. So
Okay, so this one here.
yeah,
So I'll isolate one here.
yeah. So it's right there, that kind of
Yeah, kind of let
like under.
drop. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're. I guess I'm kind of. If you take a look at mine, and just see like, do you see something that I'm missing? Like a kind of like a dead zone when it's in the back. Like I feel like it's not. I'm just kind of holding it still there, where I feel like you have a dynamic motion there.
Yes. So mine is. So I think I see what it is. So
Yeah.
I kind of go here up
Right,
and
yeah.
drop. You're going here. You're forcing the rotation.
Right.
So
right.
you're dropping this way. So you want that flick to be still going up.
So.
Yes. Then drop it. Yeah. And as soon as it gets here, so here, flick. It's already going down. Turn that body. There you go. That was better. Nice. Yeah, that already looks better.
So, let's break it down again. Let's not do it like kind of
Okay.
motion by motion.
So here,
Here.
let it keep going up, then drop into it. There it is. And you're forcing that flick a little too fast. Let it keep going. That's it. The speed will come there. Mhm. There it is.
Okay. Yeah, I can feel it. It's like sometimes I feel it, sometimes I don't. So
Right.
I can now tell the difference.
Gotcha. That's good. That's good.
But I hear you about like not forcing the flick.
Mm-hmm. So you're kind of doing this one. Just let it keep going up.
Okay.
We'll get that right.
Yeah. I'm gonna break down like doing the one side helps to get the. Here, there you go. Like that. The second one didn't, but the first one. Okay. So it's like the finesse on the backhand and like getting it with both hands and like it's really a meditative state. Like
It really is,
You have
yeah.
to be complete.
Yes. Yes. One last thing that might help that is, so the pattern is this, right? Just think about it's doing this with that one little extra. See, I think, I think just because of you're getting it, so you're kind of going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So it's still this, right? And I just start twirling. And that might help. I don't know. That might help you by still thinking that that's the pattern and not putting too much emphasis on the twirl. It's kind of an addition into the pattern.
I hear what you're saying.
That might help. I don't know.
Yeah.
It may not, but that
Yeah.
might be a way. Because sometimes just the way you think about it
Yep.
can change it.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And that's just my years of teaching, right? So you can,
Yeah.
I've had people where I've like worked on this thing for 2 days, like 3 days, 3
Yeah.
classes, and they're not quite getting it, then I will say it a certain way
Yeah.
for them to think about it, and got it.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
those things you gotta work through, because everybody's different, and you'll be able to find what kind of sticks with them.
Because also like with this kind of a thing,
Mhm.
and about the details. So like here,
Mhm.
it's like I don't know how to necessarily break that down yet.
Sure.
To be
sure.
like, I know what it feels like, and I
Uh-huh.
feel like I can do it. Does that look right?
It does, yeah. You got a good transition there, yeah. So here, yeah, you got it, you got it. So,
You do it without your forearms, like. So I have a little bit of like an assist. In
Yeah.
there, like
yeah, but that's okay. I like that. Greg used to do that. You form like this, or this one too. Works like that. And then of course you still have big motions too.
Right.
Right. So here, I can rotate this way, like this. So, and that's just application. Like, what do you need? Do you need the small blender or the big blender?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure.
But yeah, so I mean that's something that you can look at. So like kind of the way I showed you here is just the first thing is to start with the back stick. So here, just drop it into it like that. Okay. Another good way too, the way that Greg did.
I drop that inside.
So here. Here, that's how I was showing you. Was here, this one. So that it goes here, up. So instead of going straight down, it's going to go here and straight back up.
And so that's kind of how it's over here.
Yep, right there. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other thing too, a good step by step is what Greg would have us do is he'd have us walk. Because you got to be able to move, right? Everything's got to be able to move. And he'd have us tell us to turn around.
Right.
So then you kind of see it. So before they do this, because that might just fry the brains at first.
Right.
They just do this and just turn around.
Yeah.
Okay, there's reverse. Yeah, now you're learning how to connect them.
Right. What worked for me to grease off of that idea was the image of the 2 cones.
2 cones,
So
okay.
like I've got the cone on this side, and a cone on this side, kind of a thing. And so here I can trace the cone.
Okay, I got that.
Follow along the cone.
Interesting, okay.
Everything.
Yeah.
And then there's the entering into the cone. So if I'm here, and then it comes back.
Interesting, okay.
Here, tracing the cone, and then following it to the other side.
Nice, nice, okay. Very cool.
So that's how I was practicing it. But I'd be here,
Uh-huh.
here, tracing the cone, and coming to the other side, let's say, although I just kind of switch back to down for here, and it switches to the up. Or,
Interesting.
yeah, coming
Okay.
up, and then here, and then to the down. And then to the up.
I like the visual, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good, yeah. It's fun, right? Play with
Yeah.
it, see which ways kind of connect as far as how to see it. And yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
And of course, when you start teaching, you'll start to see that.
yeah,
Because like I was saying before, because this stuff can be very complicated.
right,
So somebody they could fry their brain or like, I don't know if I can do this. And so sometimes when you can kind of find one thing that connects, okay,
Yeah.
Kind of like even this thing, right? The Heaven and Earth.
yeah,
That's like, it's a staple in almost all Filipino martial arts.
Right.
But the hardest thing is just that first time learning it.
yeah,
Like once you get it, you got it. So it's like, well, okay, I don't know. It's always that backhand strike. They go here, they do this, they
Yeah.
don't know. So
Yeah.
sometimes, when you just find what's sticking. Should I go right, left, right? Should I go high, low, high?
right,
Sometimes I can go 1, 2. This is the hardest part, is this one. So 1, 2. Now bring the stick back,
Yeah.
then you come out.
yeah.
So that you're training that. So there's just little
Yeah.
things that you'll find.
I talk about like, when I teach chess, for example, I talk about like cross,
Mhm.
broken line.
Mhm.
Cross,
Yep.
cross, broken
Right.
line.
Fluid, broken line. Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing that I would see sometimes. Yeah,
Ah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, so back to my original question, like developing a personal practice. Yeah, so I've been working on, these,
Mhm.
and then incorporating in the,
Mhm.
and then trying to go into the, practicing those,
Mhm.
just kind of doing them, and then doing the
Sure.
broadsword, and then doing the 64.
Mhm.
Although I need to remember how they all fit together, and then also training it left.
Mhm.
Trying to get more into the ambidextrous.
Okay.
64.
Okay.
Which is all a lot of good stuff.
Sure.
And then I was just yesterday, Jess was on the phone
Mhm.
dealing with AT&T, and so I like took my sticks out in the parking lot, and I was sticking around and trying to work on getting some of the footwork into it,
Mhm.
and footwork patterns and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So continue like kind of building my own personal practice,
Right.
stuff that I can do alone.
Mhm.
I've had visions of grabbing rocks and
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Catch.
yeah,
There you go. Nice.
working on that. But I would like to build that out for myself
Okay.
as well.
Okay. Well, you're on the right track because you're finding what you like to do,
Yeah.
and you start there. You're working on it. And you're finding what's holding your interest. That's good.
Yeah.
So I mean, with your patterns, like you can just start finding where you can connect things. Really, see, like I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Or watch again. So
Yeah.
1, 2, and just go back in for you. See? So I can start finding. So when I'm moving here, I'm just finding ways that I can move. Right, so there, flicks, right, here, doublettes there. So I'm just finding ways that I can start moving. So just see different ways you can move, really. Just play with that. Yes, and that's good that you're seeing how you're moving. So yeah, I mean, you're on the right track, just build from there. So, and that's something that Greg said that's very true. He said, we do try to work on everything that we can, but we have things that we like better than others. That's human nature.
Right.
It says, but that's also going to make the characteristic of who you are. You should have that. And you're going to work on that more, right? So as long as it doesn't become a crutch or a vulnerability, as long as you work on it, it's going to kind of make who you are. He said the way we move, you are the way you practice. But sometimes what you practice makes you who you are, your character, So if there's certain things that are sticking with you, keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. It's like, I'm doing this too much. No, you're not. Do it as much as you want to. But then, yeah, start finding ways that you can start moving. I think it's very important, too, that if there's something that you're doing, like moving, that you're, like, catching on, like footwork, right? Okay, what can I do to build on that, right? Like, I had, this weekend, there was a guy I was working with, and he's pretty new to it, but he's athletic, he used to box, really skilled guy. But we would move around, and he'd have a thing where he would freeze.
Right.
And, granted, he's new, he's learning the footwork, but he can't quite see how to pull it out, to apply it. Like here, go to one stick real quick. So something we would do is we would do these patterns to 1, 2, 3. And what we were learning is how to enter. So like 1, 2, 3. Yep, so do it again. 1, 2, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1. Like that. Like that. And so what I would do is we were going slow, I would just go here and just start moving. Because his idea is that he has to get it and hit.
Right.
Because you do the same thing I just did. 1, right there, okay? So what I would do is you do it again. Okay, so do the pattern one more time. Here, and I start moving like this. And so I would get into the center, and he would kind of stop for a second. And so he's like, I'm not quite sure what to do. I said, well, you have the footwork.
Right.
So I'd go slow and just try to break that habit of how do you move, right? So first of all, common sense, you never want to stay here.
Right.
Even if I'm not coming at you, you don't want to stay here.
Right.
If I'm here, I want to be moving off that center automatically, right? So I would do things like that once we're here. I'd start coming in, and we go slow, and so if I come in this way, right? Yeah, exactly. So I'd have him build the habit of you're not actually stuck. You're stuck here.
Yeah.
You know what to do, right? So in that way, so it's good to be able to analyze yourself, right? Like I teach my other student who's young, he's 12. I said the greatest teacher you will ever have is yourself.
Yeah.
So learn to teach yourself as soon as you can. That way you're never reliant. I mean, it's good to seek out knowledge from other people,
Right.
but never be reliant on other people for knowledge.
Yeah.
If you're already trained, you're going to find stuff yourself. So, is there something that you do in your own practice that feels like a hiccup, like you stick? Like, is there a place where I get here and I'm thinking that I don't know how to move? Okay, cool, that's something to work on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Or if you're doing the same those two
I
things.
mean, I did have that.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah.
So I was playing around with these, and I was like, where should I be? Like, in which cases am I going from like bottom to top of the diamond?
Mhm, mhm.
You know?
Sure.
And like, is how do I range then?